Going straight country now, Mr. DJ. Love this record. The tongue in cheek of this record, sung from a sort of a unique perspective in the country field, kind of female perspective. This wisecracking, tongue in cheek, got that storytelling ability flowing into this record. We got Maddie and Tay with Shut Up and Fish. With a title like that, I had to go with this song. It's got that funky country feel to it, and they're charming and engaging on this song. Maddie and Tay, Madison Marlowe and Taylor Dye, or Tay Dye. Taylor Dye is from Oklahoma, Madison Marlowe from Sugar Land. They met in Dallas. They eventually moved to Nashville. They signed with Dot Records. Dot Records, which was more or less reformed or reinvented in 2014, at least for a few years. Dot Records was a big label. Back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, Pat Boone was on the Dot record label. Eddie Fisher, one of my favorite songs out of the 50s, Sanford Clark's The Fool. Anybody remember The Fool by Sanford Clark back in 56? Well, Dot Records had picked that song up and it became a massive hit, top 10 in 1956. Well, anyway, it reformed in 2014 and folded in 2017, but they signed Maddie and Tay. And their first record, their first hit record, Girl in a Country Song, which debuted at number 58 on the country airplay charts on Billboard. 23 weeks later, it went to number 1. It was a pretty massive hit for them, and they released their first album. I'm trying to wade through my chicken scratch. I believe the album was called Start Here. Came out 2015, their debut album, and Shut Up and Fish came off of that album. Man, it's just a fun record to listen to. It's based on a true story. They were 16 years old. They started hanging out together big time, Maddie and Tay, and they loved to fish. They were bored one afternoon. They thought to themselves, they said, let's go fishing. We love to fish. So they started texting these guys. And these guys, they brought their fishing poles with them, but didn't know how to use them. And they were wearing, as described in the song, coral shirts and white V-necks, kind of preppy, city-like. And they got a little bit muddy. They fished from a pond, and Manny and Tay, they're serious about fishing. They were serious about it. They were trying to catch a fish, but these guys, they were just kind of talking. All they wanted to do was talk and sort of, well, I guess kind of flirt with them, well, they didn't catch anything. So the song was kind of based off of that. One other thing about this record, I talked about this guy before and I forgot all about it. The album and the song was produced by a guy named Dan Huff. Dan Huff, he was in a Christian rock band with his brother. I didn't get his brother's name. It might have been Don, but I'm not sure. But he was in a Christian rock band called White Heart, and Dan Huff was in a band, later in a band called Giant. Remember the song by Giant, I See You in My Dreams, back in 1988, 89. He was in that band, but he's been a session guitar player too. He's played on sessions of Michael Jackson, Scritti Politti, fantastic guitar player. He was featured on the guitar Whitesnake's re-release of Here I Go Again, the American release of Here I Go Again in 1987. He played guitar on that record. Dan Huff, well, he produced this album later, went into producing later on, and produced this brilliant record. Yes, indeed. Once again, the stars, the constellations of talent coming together on this record. Maddie and Tay, just shut up and fish at number 20, up from 27 on my fantasy playlist, April 3rd, 2016.